my car just feels like, yeah, have you ever walked like a Rottweiler that wants to rip the head off of every little dog that it sees? Alright guys, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Jay Greene tune and what parameters he actually adjusts when giving you a tune. Now I went over loading up a custom tune and the process of receiving an emailed tune from Jay Greene or Hemi Fever, or there's a few others, HHP. It's all very similar. Basically you hook up your Trinity T2 or whatever device you have to a PC, and you drag their custom tune that they email you onto the device. So it's an extremely easy process to load up a custom tune. So let's go over exactly the parameters. Before I jump into the parameters, I just want to say that Growl's Garage has a 392, and him and I both got a Jay Greene tune, and we compared the lists to one another, and they're pretty much the same. So whether you have a 392 or 345 Hemi, it kind of doesn't matter. He adjusts the same amount of the same parameters, and I guess based on what modifications you have is, he adjusts it accordingly. So he optimizes the timetables for the best performing octane level that you choose. So he will ask you, hey, what octane level do you want the tune for? So you select which tune, which octane you want, and then he will optimize the tables for that. He will increase the throttle sensitivity, and let me tell you, the throttle sensitivity on the RT it's pretty badass. I mean, I'll step on the gas and I'm like, I usually have my pedal commander on eco mode because it's just like, my car just feels like, yeah, have you ever walked like a Rottweiler that wants to rip the head off of every little dog that it sees? The pedal commander has kind of like eased the aggressiveness of that throttle. Adjusting fuel in wide open throttle to be optimal for best horsepower and torque. Remove various babysitters that kick in, robbing horsepower. Quicken the shifts and raise shift RPMs. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one video, but my RPMs like go skyrocketing before the next shift. I mean, it is pretty badass. And I'll tell you what, the shifts on this car are like on point every time. Very aggressive. Turn down the torque management on the engine, but he said that he doesn't do that for the transmission, and the reason why is for longevity. So I guess that's why when I hopped on the dyno, my torque numbers were outstanding. Adjusted spark modifier tables to help it better adjust to weather. So whether it's winter or summer, I'm guessing that the car just runs a little bit smoother. Adjust fan temp to keep engine cooler. Yeah, you know what? That's one thing that I did notice. My fan is running so much more. When I first loaded up the tune, I was kind of concerned about that. I was like, man, is there something wrong with my engine? And then he emailed this list, and kind of like, all right, it made sense. So that's kind of cool to keep the engine running cooler. The fans are continuously helping. override max airflow, and crap, I can't read my writing. So there's no restrictions. So I'm guessing when you have an upgraded intake or throttle body or something, that's going to help add more horsepower. So, those are the parameters that he adjusted, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I know all of those parameters. And, you're probably going to have questions, and I will likely reach out to Jay Greene in a couple of days with whatever questions that are thrown my way that I don't understand. All I can really say is that what he adjusted on the car has resulted in this thing feeling like an absolute monster. I'll drive around and it feels like it's ready to freaking race at all times. Like the second I step on the gas, it's like my tires just want to just melt. So, what he did to the car is certainly worth every penny of it. I paid $175 for the engine tune, $75 for the transmission tune, and it was money well spent. On the dyno, it didn't tell the full story. This car is now capable of being in the fours on a consistent basis, and with the limited modifications, the performance modifications that I do have on here with that Jay Greene tune, it really has transformed this thing into an absolute beast. So I'm definitely looking forward to testing more 0 to 60s, 1/8 miles, and then the 1/4 mile this summer. So it's awesome, guys. Modifying these Hemis and waking them up is just a shit ton of fun. So there it is. That's what you can expect if you were to go down this Jay Greene route. What parameters are getting adjusted, and what you can kind of expect. So I hope that helps anybody that's looking into these tunes, looking into a Diablo, looking into all this stuff. And that's